Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Design for Dummies. On this YouTube channel, I basically just do some design tutorials, have some chats about graphic design. I am a graphic design, well, I used to be a graphic design student. I've now just finished my honors degree. And this week I thought that we could just do a little bit of a chat. All of my as if I've got 400, all of my other videos have been me just doing some tutorials of Photoshop and InDesign, and I can't remember what the other one was, but anyways. So I think we're just gonna sit down, we're gonna have a bit of a chat. Like I just said, I recently graduated, so I just compiled some questions that I thought some people might be interested in. I didn't bother to ask, sorry. But basically I'm just going to be, answering some questions. Let's get started. So what is my degree called? So my degree is called a BA, it's Bachelor of Arts in Visual Arts, in Integrated Arts and Design, as far as I know. But it's basically just a BA in Integrated Arts and Design. My major is Visual Communication Design, so that's basically just graphic design, but in fancier terms. I actually did a 4-year undergraduate degree, so that means I didn't graduate at the end of my 3rd year. I just carried straight into 4th year, and in our 4th year we did an honors year, so I have my BA honors in Integrated Arts and Design. Why is it called Integrated Arts and Design? So basically we do a very wide variety of things. It's not a very specialized degree, it's very general. We learn a lot of fine arts things and we learn a lot of graphic designy things. We don't do a lot of marketing, but we do branding. So like I said, it's more towards the artsy side of things than it is the marketing side of things or advertising side of things. We obviously, our skills do allow us to do it, but we don't actively do it. So we are taught how to brand companies, we are taught like poster design, all the things that you would hire a graphic designer for, but we don't specialize in any specific thing. In lots of small colleges, they often have people specialize in certain things like photography or branding or digital design or digital art or videography or that sort of thing. We actually end up doing all of that, and our course looks at all of that in detail, but not in a lot of detail as if it were specializing in that specific thing. So that's why it's called Integrated Arts and Design. We are taught how to visually communicate through design, so you can look at a poster and know what it's saying without there having to be someone next to it explaining to you what it's meant to be saying. So that's why our degree is called that, and that's why it's not called a BA in photography or branding or just design in general. It's a lot of integrated things. Is my degree relevant? So in my very unique experience of being a South African young, now recently graduated graphic designer, I do think my degree is relevant, and I'm going to tell you why. I think my degree is relevant because most of the jobs and careers that I've applied for since graduating or even before graduating do require you to have some sort of degree or diploma or certificate, but majority of them do require you to have a degree. I think most South African universities do offer some sort of digital design or graphic design degree or information design degree. So I do think because there is such a wide variety of options to study in South Africa, to study this particular degree in South Africa, many of the careers and jobs do want you to have a degree, because obviously having a degree makes you know a little bit more than someone who had to just teach themselves, if you know what I mean. Also, a degree is just a piece of paper. I mean, you could definitely teach everything I've learned in this 4 years to yourself, but jobs and careers and people who want to hire other people are quite finicky about that kind of stuff. They do want you to have degrees and diplomas. So I think this degree is relevant. I don't know what it's like abroad. I don't know what it's like in other countries. In South Africa, I think it's relevant, and I do think it is not really a up and coming degree, but artificial intelligence, I don't think artificial intelligence can take over our degrees. So I think it's relevant in that aspect as well, because we are creative, and I don't think that a computer can be more creative than we are. And human connection. I mean, if you want someone to design the brand of your company, I, for one, would not want to take my brand to a robot and ask them, you know, give me a logo. I want to speak to someone. So I do think it's relevant. I do think it's relevant in this day and age. And I do think that it's necessary to get a degree in graphic design if you want to be a graphic designer for a company, especially for corporate companies. But if you want to freelance in graphic design straight away after whatever happens in your life, then I don't think a degree is necessary, because then people just look at your skills and look at what you can do and look at your portfolio of work, and they decide whether to use you or not. They don't check if you have a degree. What does a graphic designer do? So I'm sure the majority of you know what a graphic designer does, especially if you're watching this video. But basically, a graphic designer will be hired to do digital design work for a company. So if you've ever heard of Photoshop or Illustrator or Adobe Creative Cloud, that is what we often specialize in. Lots of people don't use it though. There's lots of other programs that you can use that are free and that are less expensive than that. But basically, we will enter a company. I'd say that our main go-to is just if companies need digital work for their company. So it's very often branding, logo design. We do email signatures, you know, advertising. We can do marketing, social media, the very cool Instagram videos and Instagram reels that you see. We can do that. It's basically anything you can think of that needs to be designed digitally on a screen. We can most probably do that, or we have been taught how to do that. Anything digital, that is us. Anything colors, that's us. Anything artsy on screen, that's us. The next question was like, what are the fees involved in studying this particular degree? So for me, my unique experience, this is definitely not the do-all end-all of fees involved in studying a degree like this, but basically my 4 years of studying probably cost me around just over 200,000 rand. So I will put the amount in dollars and euros and all the, you know, big currencies over here, or over here, either one. But basically that is how much it cost me, but it varies a lot. And it depends a lot on whether you are staying on campus or whether you are staying in your own home, you know, whether you are living close to the area or far from the area, whether you are studying online or not. But our degree, just the degree itself, generally costs around 35,000 rand. I found that it was between lower 30s and higher 30s, which is, yeah, that's what the degree itself costs. And then there are obviously a lot of fees involved. So I would say most likely around 40 to 50,000 rand per year. That's if you're not staying on campus and you don't have to pay for rent, or you don't have to pay for all the other things that cost you a lot of money in 1 month. So that is generally what the fees are. Is it internationally recognized? So yes, this degree that I got from Stellenbosch University, I don't think I mentioned that yet. I graduated from Stellenbosch University in the Western Cape in South Africa. It is internationally recognized, but it's that university itself that is internationally recognized. It is not my degree that is internationally recognized. Well, it is because of the university being internationally recognized. What it means is I can go abroad. I can go to America or Europe or Australia, and my degree will be recognized as a degree there, and I can say that I have a degree in graphic design even though I got it in South Africa. Whereas if your university or college is not internationally recognized, you don't have that degree when you go abroad. So that's a really nice thing about this degree. I do think it would be internationally recognized in a lot of other places abroad, just because it is a very flexible degree. You can design digital things from wherever you are in the world. You can work with clients from wherever because of online technology. Whereas if you had to study something like law, the law changes in each country, so that you wouldn't be able to go to America and apply South African law. What is the structure of my degree? So basically in first year, we have 3 main programs in the visual arts section of the BA degree, and we have fine arts, we have jewelry design, and we have graphic design. So in first year, they basically just threw everyone into one big group, and we did projects involving all three of the sections of visual arts. So I did jewelry design, I did graphic design, and I did fine arts. Jewelry design was not for me, really not for me. I'm not good with my hands. Anyway, so we did all three of those, and they basically just did that for us to decide which direction we want to go in. If we weren't certain, I got accepted for graphic design, so I knew that was the direction I wanted to go in, and doing jewelry design and cutting metal with 2mm saws that break every 3 seconds really just was the cherry on top for me, and I knew that I want to work on the laptop for the rest of my life and not work with hands-on crafty DIY things. It's not for me, it's really just not for me. And fine arts as well, I just didn't see myself doing that. I love fine arts, but it's just not for me. And graphic design was definitely the correct career choice. So yeah, so like I said, in first year we did all of the different courses just to see which one we wanted to go into, and then at the end of the year we all got to apply for either a different degree or a different course, or just stay in the course that we are in. So I decided to stay in the course that I was in. Some of the people got accepted into my course, some of the people left to fine arts or jewelry design, depending on which one you enjoyed most or which direction you want to ultimately go into. And then in second and third year, we just carried on with our course. We carried on with graphic design. We did learn a bit more of fine arts skills and techniques like screen printing and liner cuts and monotype printing and that sort of thing, because you can obviously use it for graphic design. Also, drawing skills are very important. If you are, designing a logo for a company, you're not going to bring them the finished digital logo in the beginning. You're obviously going to draw out a rough sketch, and that's basically what the drawing taught us. So we did lots of drawing, and I feel like that did actually help a lot. But in second and third year, it was basically just drawing. We also had a module called Visual Studies, which is like the history of art. And a lot of other interesting things. We also did gender studies, the male gaze, lots of interesting topics in visual studies. And we did that in second and third year. And in fourth year, we had our honors year. So that was a completely different structure. We got given a research article to do, and the research article runs throughout the whole year. It's basically like a shorter thesis. So not fun. So we basically did the research article throughout the year, and we actually had to develop a brand that connects to the research article. So whatever you are exploring, I explored biophilic design. So then I created a brand called Breathe that works in par with my research article and biophilic design. So that is the imaginary hypothetical company that I basically explored and investigated in my research article. So that is a very short summary. There's obviously a lot more to it, but that is basically what the structure of my course was like. Do I think that my course is worth it? I do think it's my course, it's a lot of money. It is really a lot of money. And I kid you not, I'm probably going to be paying off debts for the next 40 years of my life, depending on how much money I make in the future. So I do think it's worth it, because I managed to secure a job pretty quickly with this degree and with the skills that it has taught me. But I do think that if you can't afford to do a degree like this, there are way better options. There are lots of short courses, there are lots of free things that you can watch, like YouTube videos. You can even pay a monthly subscription for Skillshare and just learn your skills from there. Honestly, if you put in at least 6 hours of work a day in learning graphic design, you really could learn it extremely quickly. It isn't something that is impossible to learn without a degree. It's skills, it's not studying. So I do think the degree is worth it if you are very serious about it, and if you know that you are going to be working for a company one day. I didn't want to go into freelancing immediately, so I decided to get a degree so that I could work in a company, get some experience. So I had to get the degree. But if you are, like I said earlier, if you are freelancing, if you want to be a freelance graphic designer, then you don't need a degree. You just need good skills and a strong portfolio. Can you get a job? Yes, I can, because I have secured a job. So yes, the answer is yes, you can get a job. I was very surprised by the amount of companies and people looking for graphic designers. The only thing is that most of them are looking for experienced designers. So if you can get experience during your studying, or even if you are a freelancer, if you just take into account all your experience and really just put it into your CV or your website or your portfolio, whatever you have, because experience is extremely important in this industry, because the more experience you have, the more skills you have, the more you can do for a company, and the less people have to look over your shoulder to make sure that you are doing the work. So I think experience is a very, very important thing in the graphic design industry. Make sure you get experience, or you job shadow, or you intern if you are studying in graphic design. I think that I didn't do it personally, but I did have other social media jobs in the meantime, so I do have a bit of experience. But lots of my friends did intern jobs and internships, and it helped them a lot. Some of them even got jobs at the company where they did an internship with. It doesn't need to be long, it can be 2 or 3 weeks, but if they like you, they will come back for you. So I think experience is very important. Okay, and the last question. What are some other courses or other things you could do with graphic design that could help you? I'm actually looking into doing copywriting. I think copywriting is great to have hand in hand with graphic design, because if you are working with social media or running the social media side of a company, copywriting, doing a short course in copywriting is great to have, because then you can get paid extra for doing graphic design and copywriting, and you wouldn't need to hire a whole copywriter just to do your descriptions and titles and that sort of thing for your Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn, whatever the case may be. So if you can afford it, I would suggest copywriting. And if you enjoy it, I would suggest copywriting. You can even do some short business courses or like marketing courses. If you are planning on freelancing, I think that's a really great skill to have if you are planning on opening your own business or running your own business. It would obviously just give you the skills to start it up and keep it running. Like, I wouldn't know where to start. I don't think I could run my own business successfully. Maybe one day I want to have experience, but yes, business, short courses, and things to do with starting your own business, you should definitely look into if you are freelancing. I also think that if you're interested in web design or website development, it would be really nice to get a basic understanding of coding in HTML and CSS spreadsheets. If you can design websites, often people look for people who can design the user interactive and user experience, user interaction and user experience, as well as code the website, just so they can pay one person one salary and not have to employ a bunch of people just to do one job. So if you are into web design and you really think that you are the person for web design and that's all you want to do with the rest of your life, then I would suggest learning some coding and making yourself aware of it, just so if people ask you to do some easy web design, you can just go in there and say you know basic coding, so you can code the website for them and earn a bit of extra bucks. So yeah, that is all the questions that I wrote down. I think those are some questions that friends have asked and that people I know have asked. If you have any other questions, please pop them in the comments below and I will definitely respond to you. If you haven't yet, please like this video, please subscribe to my channel, it really helps me. If you are keen for some more design tips and tricks, then this is the channel for you. And I will be having a lot more fun in the future. I do have a lot of other interests other than graphic design, so I'm thinking of implementing them all in one video and not making them separate things, so that it can be a very versatile, flexible, fun channel. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. If you haven't watched my other videos yet, please go and give them a watch, even if you just put them on mute and play them on your laptop. Would really help me. So yeah, have a good day and I will see you next week. Bye.